Do you want to know how I managed to score exemption in SCMP? That is, scoring an exemption in SCMP is like really a big thing. So, and it all depends on how you prepare, how you manage to attempt the paper. So, see, I scored 64 out of 100 in SCMP in November 22. In November 22, if you can see, the question paper was more and more focused on case study questions, that is from case study digest. Okay, so now many people leave case study digest or do only few questions of case study digest because it is not practically possible, as they say, to complete the whole case study digest. Okay, I somewhat agree, but at least you should not completely leave case studies. You should do some case studies, you should go through once and try to recall those in the exam. So how like I managed to score is, first of all, it all depends on how you attempt the paper. Right. So see, first of all, you have to, in SCMP, managing your time, trying to attempt the 100 marks paper is a challenge for you. So what you have to do, there is 3 hours given for 100 marks paper. So if for 100 marks there is there is 180 minutes. So for 5 marks there will be somewhere around 9 minutes. Right. So in SCMP generally there are 10 marks questions, there are 20 marks question. So this way you can analyze that in a 10 marks question you should not spend more than 18 to 20 minutes. Likely in a 20 marks question you can't spend more than half an hour. This way the psychology works, which is somewhat okay. You can easily try to attempt 10 marks question in 18 minutes. 18 minutes is not very less. You can easily try to finish that in that time limit. So even I personally followed the same. Like I decided I continuously kept the track, like if I'm not taking too long for one question. So this way you can at least make sure that you are attempting at least 90 marks, or if very good then 100 marks paper. So what my concern is, in papers like FR, SFM, even if you attempt only 80 marks very well or 70 marks very well, like you attempt only the questions which you know very well, then you can score 60 easily, 60 plus. Like if you attempt 65, you scored 60, just like miracle how you scored so much. But in S subjects like SCMP, you generally don't get full marks easily in a question, in case studies or in theory. So it's very tough to attempt 70 and score 60 plus. So in SCMP your target should be to attempt more and more. So for attempting more and more, this was the trick. Yeah. Now this was the strategy which I had written. This is for the preparation time. You can read this. If you're preparing for SCMP, then how you can prepare it so as to target exemption. See, written practice is a must. Even during your one day before exam, you can mark few questions and do written practice of that. Now talking about the paper presentation, see what I did. If you can see, I have not attempted question number 1 first. So you also know why, because see, the question 3 is based on GIT and I was very much confident in GIT questions. I had done lots of written practice, so I knew that I will not take time to think the solution of the question. I will just read the question and start solving. So in the first 2 hours, if you see, we get 3 hours, right? So in the first 2 hours, if you see, you tend to solve slowly, you tend to take it lightly. Okay, I have time, I'll manage. But in the last 1 hour, when the bell rings after 2 hours, you have last 1 hour, then you tend to panic. You are so you're speeding up. Like you don't waste your time. In that 1 hour you try to attempt as much as you can. So all the problem is about this 2 hours, because you go a bit slow, you take time to think the answers. So in these 2 hours, what should be your preference, what should be your priority is attempt those questions which you are very sure of, like secure your marks. So I was sure in GIT question I'll score good. See everywhere, see here, if I go to the marks, I got in step 1 6, then in step 2 again I got 3, then in step 3 again I got 4. So I was so sure that, and see, it is so clean, Nowhere there is cuttings, only in the calculation part it is there. So if you're sure that your answer is right, and also it is no that impression part, if your first question is written so well, is solved so well, so the one who is correcting your paper will get an idea that yes, you have studied well, you're writing your answers correctly. So yeah, in the first question that you attempt should be in the question which you are very confident. See, this Kanban also I've written properly. In step 4 also 2.5, step 5 1.5, and then total out of 20, if you can see, I got 19. So if this way step by step you write it, you will definitely get marks. See, I've given a line in between D and E. This is E part and this is the D part. So proper segregation should be there. The one who is correcting your paper should not be confused. See, 19 marks easily. Now when I came to the next question, again this was also like I was very much sure that I'll get marks. See, I've got 4 marks. This was somewhere around, I don't remember how much marks it was, but 4 is good in this small question. Then again, see, the starting questions, what you have to see is the starting questions must be which you are sure. Now if I go to the end of the paper, see how much cuttings will be there. See, in the last questions, scored step 2 0. So this way you have to attempt the paper, the questions in which again here 0. So the questions in which you are very confident, attempt those first, secure your marks, and for last keep those questions in which you are not sure, so that in the last 1 hour if you solve those questions in which you are not sure, you will not take much long. You don't have time only, so where will you spend your idle time? So this way you have to keep your presentation, just go through the calculations again, see if you have not done silly mistakes, and always don't prefer rechecking your questions answer silly mistakes in questions in which already you are not confident, because it's waste of time. Just recheck your silly mistakes in those questions in which you are very confident that my answer is right. See, in JIT I was very sure that I have done it rightly. I knew that I will get marks in this, so I can't afford to do silly mistake. That's why I rechecked these all, because I knew my process is right, only the calculations can be wrong, so I rechecked these. So don't recheck your silly mistakes for every question, but only for the questions in which you are confident. So this way you can do the presentation. Also for big case studies, like I remember in my exam, question 1 was very big case study. I did not even had the time to read the question, so I kept it for last, read the question. And sometimes if you don't have minimum time also, if you don't have any time to read the question, just go directly to the main question and see if there is a direct question also, like question 1A, question 1B, question 1C and D. So if suppose A is related to the case study but B is a direct question, like what is Kanban, so you can write this. For this you don't need to read the whole case study, so at least attempt these questions. Like your purpose should be that attempt more and more wherever you can. So follow these, and definitely I think this can help you at least improve your marks by 2 or 3 marks or 5 marks. See, strategy and how you attempt your paper also matters, so just keep these points in mind. And see, also you can, if you have time, and you don't even need extra time for this. When I'm writing the answer, I itself writing only, but at the time I'm writing, I just underline the important points, like Kanban was the topic, so I underlined this. Visual cue board was the main keyword, so I underlined this. Pace, plan their production, these were the keywords, so I underlined this. Reducing motion time, this way you can underline this so that you can score good. The one who is correcting your paper will directly see the keywords and give you marks. This way you can give the numberings 1 2 3 4, so it can know that there are 4 points in this. Okay, so all the very best for your exams, and do not forget to subscribe the channel, and also you can comment down if you want any other subject strategy.